Hey, what's going on, cats and kittens out there? It's Gavin the Grease here. You dig? So, I thought I'd put a little video together on greaser shoes, what type of shoes greasers wore in the 1950s, and some of the shoes they wear now, because you gotta figure, cats, the greaser subculture has changed a lot. You know, it's not the same as it was back in the 1950s. A lot of things are different, like, you know. But you'll see what I mean as I get into the video. You dig? So yeah, greaser shoes. You know, I'm not just going to be covering engineer boots. I'm going to be covering all types of greaser shoes that you cats can buy that, you know, won't break. Well, some are a little expensive, but for the most part, they're not that bad. You dig? And the reason why I have my flat cap on, I don't have my hair greased up right now, so I got a flat cap on. You know, you dig? Let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so this is, you know, a must-have. If you're a greaser or you're just becoming a greaser, one of the shoes you have to, you know, it's like a must. It's like you must have to have it, you know. Engineer boots. Boom. Bang. These things. So, if it's winter time, it's definitely, you know, going to be a good time to wear your engineer boots, which would be obviously these, you know, your motorcycle boots. You dig? So, yeah, engineer boots go from, I think I got mine for 128 bucks. They were originally $100, but, you know, the tax and everything, all that, came up to 128. So, tell them how much I bought these from. The company that makes these, you guys can, you know, check it out if you want, is called Dingo Engineer Boots. This is a very old school company. And the thing I like about Dingo Engineer Boots is it's an old school company and it's not going to break the bank. You know, it's not like a $1,000 pair of boots. It's literally like 128 bucks I paid for mine. But yeah, Dingo Engineer Boots. Very great boot. Very classical, very traditional, very old school. Greasers definitely wore these back in the 50s. And greasers I know still wear them today, you know, because they're engineer boots. They're classical, you know. Very old school. Especially in the wintertime, you know, any of you cats that are, you know, in the cold areas, you know, those boots are good for too, especially where I live right now. It's kind of cold out, and I do wear boots, my engineer boots from time to time, because, you know, it's going to get cold out. You dig? Alright, cats. Next shoe. And these shoes are probably going to be the most classical ones other than the engineer boots you're going to find, you know, the most common ones. And those would be Chuck Taylors, okay? So, these are my black high tops, you know, canvas with the white rubber and the gummy stuff on the bottom of the shoes. All right, these are my Chuck Taylors, you know. The original Chuck Taylors, too, not the remake shit they make now, but these are, you know, the original Chuck Taylors, you know, the original basketball shoe, all that stuff, man. This is what came as, you know, a gym shoe, you know. This was considered a gym shoe, was the Chuck Taylors. Now, for Chuck Taylors, guys, you can go for the high tops or low tops. I do own a few low tops that I'm not really going to wear until I kind of wear my Chuck Taylor black high tops out a little more. I plan on wearing my newer Chuck Taylors, which would be the low tops, when these kind of go out, you know, and they kind of get ruined a little more. Because all shoes get ruined. I mean, hey, it happens. So yeah, my Chuck Taylors aren't that bad right now. Yeah, they're a little dirty, you know, here and there, but until they're physically falling apart, that's when I'm going to probably change them out and wear my newer ones. I'll show you my newer ones, though, you dig? So yeah, these are my black high-top Chuck Taylors. Still in good shape, you know. Take good care of them, and they'll take good care of you. You dig? But yeah, you could find Chuck Taylors easily at shoe stores for about like 50 bucks. You know, not that expensive at all, really. It's like one of the cheapest shoes you could find on the market today is Chuck Taylors. So yeah, take good care of them, so they'll take good care of you. I think you can at least make Chuck Taylors at least last like a good 4 or 5 years until they start falling apart completely, okay? I know past times I've had Chuck Taylors and I've worn Chuck Taylor, you know, they haven't really broke on me until like the 5th or 4th year of me wearing them as a shoe, and then they start falling apart. So, hopefully this pair lasts that long too, because I really don't want to going back to the shoe store or doing anything like that. Hopefully these will last too. But yeah, Chuck Taylors, you know, high tops or low tops, whatever you really want. It's kind of up to you. You dig? Next shoe. Shoe number 3. Also, and shoe number 3, if you're asking, would be the low top Chuck Taylors. Okay? Now, these are a newer pair of low top Chuck Taylors because I bought, it's always good to have, different pairs of shoes. I already do, but I need different pairs of gym shoes. So that's why I bought low top Chuck Taylors because I didn't have any high tops, original high tops in different colors. They just had low tops, unfortunately. So I went ahead and grabbed the low top Chuck Taylors. They're not bad. They don't look that bad. Personally, I'm a high tops person. I'm not really a low tops person. That's just me personally. But they're not bad though. I went ahead and bought the red Chuck Taylors and the white Chuck Taylors because, white Chuck Taylors were definitely very common in the 50s, They were the other, if you weren't wearing the black, you were wearing the white. Red wasn't really so much really in there at the time, but, red kind of came in later in the years. But red, I think, is a very fantastic color for Chucks. And, yeah, so here's the red. Here's my red low tops that are brand new. I'm probably not going to wear them until, like I said, my black ones kind of start going out and they start kind of getting more ruined. So that's what these are kind of for, as backup shoes, backup gym shoes. But yeah. Next shoe. Shoe option number 4. Before we get into shoe option number 4, here are my white high tops. So, and if you're wondering how I got these, well, I saved up my money. So I literally had a ton of money on me, and I spent it on shoes because, to have more shoes, to, if shit gets ruined, you have more pairs, it's good. And here are my white pairs of Chuck Taylors, the classical, traditional white pair. These are very old school. Cats in the 50s did wear it, and we're rocking the white Chuck Taylors. Obviously, I don't know what was really out in the 50s at that time. I wasn't around in the 50s, but obviously I wasn't born. But white Chuck Taylors and black Chuck Taylors are one of the most common colors you could find of that shoe brand. You dig? Now, the option shoe number 4. And that would be the lace-up dress work shoes. Whatever you want to call them. These shoes right here are mainly meant for people that work in shops, mechanics, that type of whole deal. Actually, these shoes are really kind of meant for, especially in the 50s, in that time, that's what shoes are really meant for, But yeah, so just a nice, good pair of lace-up shoes, dress dock work shoes, are very, very good. Oxfords like these, very, very nice, very, very casual, very old school, straight to the point shoes, Because back in that time period in the 50s, greasers didn't really wear fancy clothing. They kind of wore, straight to the point, basic clothing. That's kind of what they wore in that time period. So, nice pair of lace-ups. Well, if you take good care of them, they'll work fine. Shoe option number 5 would be pair of Vans. Yes, a nice pair of high top Vans. Oh, that's right, because I wore these today. That's why. Yeah. But yeah, man, Vans. Very classical, very old school. Same thing with the Chuck Taylors. The Vans have been around for quite some time, and they're still around today. And just a nice pair of high top Vans. I think they look really, really good with the greaser style and the subculture. So yeah, it's a nice pair of Vans, man. Rock it, man. Same thing with the Chuck Taylors. If you, let's take good care of you. Take good care of them. You dig? All right, cats. The last pair of shoes that I'm going to recommend to you, these are very, very basic, okay? And those would be, I don't wear these too often because for one, it's winter time, and for two, I just really don't wear these often in places. And that shoes would be nice pair of, slip-ons, man. Slip-ons. And a very nice pair of slip-ons. It doesn't have, obviously not very nice, but, But slip-ons, man, there's times where you don't feel like putting shoes on or boots on or whatever you're going to put on for shoes. And you don't feel like doing that? Well, a nice pair of slip-ons that are very casual will work for you. You're going to take out the trash, you put these on, or you're going somewhere like the store, and you don't feel like putting shoes on. Slip-ons, man, they'll work. Trust me, these are the shoes I haven't really worn the most, but, nice pair of slip-ons, man. They work. They really do. I think you can find those for like $19, man. Alright, cats. That's kind of going to do it for my greaser shoeing kind of situation, how it's going, how it's been. But yeah, I hope this helps you cats out there find what you're, trying to figure out, greasers and the whole shoes and the whole thing. Hope this helps you cats out. I hope, that's pretty much what I just said. You dig? So, yep. I'm going to call it a day for today's video. And like I said, I will see you in the next video. You dig, cats?